Where did our Super Nintendo controllers go?
I know.
Every time I hear that song, I want to play Super Mario.
You know what? I was thinking through that intro. I was thinking like, holy. This is my job. Get to like today's conversation is like right up my alley.
It's a pretty cool job, and we're flying over the Millennium Falcon apparently.
We are
checking out the top surface.
It's kind of like the Death Star, but more advanced. It's got cooler technology on it.
If only we could go in and pick up all those microchips, we'd be millionaires.
Well, then I would have my new computer. Which I am dying for.
By the time you get it, oh geez,
it'll be
again. Like as soon as we turn the cameras on, my phone starts going.
Yeah, they know. Like the people know.
They know.
Anyways,
that looks so rude. I'm like, oh wait, I'll call you back.
You never do.
No, I do.
No, he does. Yeah,
I do.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So your computer, I'm going to make fun of you because your computer is going to be obsolete by the time it gets here. You know that, right?
Sadly, yes. That's why I've already ordered a second one. Anyways, let's get to it.
Let's talk some CareCru, man.
Yes.
We're on to the next level. This is exciting.
It is.
Let's get Terry in here.
Let's get him.
There he is.
Because we didn't forget about him, but we kind of forgot about him.
I may have fumbled the ball getting Terry on the call today.
Yeah.
But this is why I let you run the machines and I just talk.
Yeah. It's okay.
How you doing, Terry?
I'm great, guys. Thanks for keeping me on the cliff.
This is what Tyler hears when he fires up his computer.
Yeah. What's this graphic I'm seeing?
Oh, there's a JPEG loading. You remember that?
There's a JPEG loading. Wait.
Just it came across.
Don't talk.
Screen.
You'll slow down my connection.
Yeah, that's right. And then somebody picks up the phone and ruins the internet.
Mom, hang up the phone.
Mom, I'm on the internet. Remember that? And now we're talking about AI automating like an entire a practice.
How far we've come.
We in like a short amount of time.
Okay, so I'm gonna, now that you've got me going, I'm gonna age myself here right now. I'm gonna date myself. Does anyone in the room remember? You might not. Do you remember the pre-internet days and then moving to the internet days?
Yeah.
Terry, I'm not sure if you're even old enough to remember, but do you remember? So I'll tell a quick story. I remember my mom coming into my room when I was about 18 years old, and she said, "Tyler, there's this thing called the information superhighway, and we can't deny it. It's about to come. It's about to arrive." And I remember being like, "Mom, what?" I had a few sort of like comments for her. I'm like, "Okay, just ease up, slow down. This sounds very Buck Rogers-ish. Yeah. What are you talking about?" She's like, "There's going to be this thing where you can go on your computer and you can literally open up a browser and you can find anything on this thing called the internet."
And you know what's so wild now is like the computers that we had back in the day, and now like there's something like 12 million times the amount of computing power on this than there was the Apollo 12 that took the folks to the moon. So, or was it Apollo 11? I apologize.
Apollo 11, yes, 11. Of course. Get your Apollos right.
It's not 13. Tom Hanks was on that one.
So this is kind of our segue into. We went from analog in 1994.
What are we doing today?
And here we are in 2022, where we're actually talking about software with artificial intelligence built into it. Terry, automation. Yes. Let's get into this.
Automate. Yeah. So it takes me way back, man. I'm sorry, I'm digressing in my head just thinking about those days. But
right? I take you on a journey there, didn't I?
It is. It was a journey. It was a journey. Yeah. Definitely a blast from the past there. But
for sure.
Yes, here we are, 2022, and we're talking artificial intelligence. So before we really talk about the power of Donna and the power of CareCru, I'll give you just some nerdy information about us. So our platform has really evolved on what we call a reactive machine, implemented by artificial narrow intelligence. And it really, what that means is it's a react and respond to different stimuli that's going to help practices improve that patient experience. kind of high level stuff there. So we've implemented another thing called natural language processing, where we pull communication preferences, and we also understand best times to do communication with patients based on conversation rates, conversion rates, tailoring of different messages that are better suit patients based on their what we call swath data points. So all of that being said, that's kind of a peek behind the curtain of Oz here,
Wow.
to get into what Donna is. So to no avail, or to further avail, I will show you what Donna automates. So here every day, this is our dashboard going back to our platform, and Donna automates three major components to a practice. One being the appointment reminders, the second being patient recalls, and then the third, when we talk about when we're going through that patient experience, those review requests. So typically what we've seen through the thousands of practices that we have on our platform is that we're saving anywhere between 20 to 30 hours of workload per week at that front desk position. And
that's huge.
It is tremendous. Big pushback that I always get is, well, you're replacing me, you're taking my job away.
Right.
And that's not the case at all. Dentistry is too patient touch and patient centric that we're trying to enhance that patient experience. So by offsetting a lot of these different tasks, or offloading these tasks onto our platform, the patient experience is increased dramatically, because now there's a more human touch to the process, ironically, when a patient's in the practice.
Mm-hmm. So here's my thought on that too, like the whole "you're replacing me" argument. Really, like a normal human, right? A normal human could not get to all the opportunity that's available. They can't. There's not enough time in the day. So what the tool does, what CareCru does, is enhances their ability to get to all of that opportunity. Right?
Yeah, that's a great way to summarize it.
100%.
Anyways.
Yeah.
I always have to
100%.
put in my...
And further, so a lot of practices that manually do this, they have what's called their recall list. So if we're looking at our patient management tool, when we go in there, we automate alongside of the practice. So we can give predefined lists, smart recare list, follow-up list, unconfirmed patients, missed pre-appointments. So all of the different KPIs that practices will look at when it comes to managing their patient base, we provide these quick snapshots to work alongside. And there's obviously analytics that we can dive into on next call of what those analytics look like, of how these practices are working efficiently.
And so sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. What were you going to ask?
So what it does, it'll extract that information, which is amazing, right? That it gets that granular. And then it just feeds it into your practice management software to say, here's where the column should be filled. Here's who, like, so it seems to me like it works seamlessly into the practice management software to make sure that the two are working in synergy together.
Yes. So it does have that bi-directional sync into the PMS, that practice management software system. So it will work harmoniously with
in harmony.
PMS. Thank you.
Harmlessly.
Some days I just can't speak. I don't know.
I love that. Harmlessly.
I'm right there with you, man.
It will not cause you any harm.
It will not cause you any harm. It's in harmony.
Yes.
Sorry, Terry. Carry on.
No, thank you. I appreciate the save. So,
no, you just gave us an opportunity to derail your what you're doing, and that's what we're
just going to talk through, Mark. Just keep going.
Yeah. At least I can always bring you back. I have that space.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So going into, I'll share with you guys this as well. When we talk about practice automation, there's a lot of resistance sometimes that we get with this, because we also hear, well, we do it a certain way. Our practice manages it this way, so what makes your way any better? Or we have a pointed solution that already does it. What makes your way any better? And oftentimes those are easy conversations, because we can also tailor our approach, even though as I told you about using that narrow intelligence, that artificial narrow intelligence, to change our flows, we can lock that into the practice. For example, I'll show you an overview here. So our recall, for example, not to dive into the weeds, guys, but it's an 18-month recall process that they have here, and we can manage that, or we can turn these on or off based on the practice's preferences, with ways of communication or forms of communication through email or text message or even recorded phone calls. So
I love that it does a preview. That's amazing.
Yeah, it does a preview to it on text and on email. And then really where this ties in, so we talk about the synergy of the different pointed solution. If you have our online scheduling platform, when we do the recalls, we don't just send out reminders. It's a hello from Sunshine Smiles. We're reaching out because you're almost due for your cleaning. Click on this link and you can book directly into our calendar at your convenience.
That's amazing.
So now there's no phone call to the practice, so we're not clogging up those phones or taking away from the practice admin time. The patients have that freedom and flexibility to book their own times based on the permissions that the practice want to grant. So it's very intuitive just in that recall portion. Obviously, the reminders are the same way. You can see it's a linear reminder process. So this is, again, not getting into the weeds, but it's a yes or no type timeline.
Mm-hmm.
And so we follow different practices, and these will change based on, again, the data points, the swath data points that we get through the empirical data we gather from all of our practices. So the automation is really, really powerful for practices once they understand that it does not replace, it just enhances.
It enhances, yeah. And, I was wanting to get into the weeds, but Tyler, Terry, you guys said, no, we don't.
I said, no weeds today.
No weeds. So I would encourage all of our listeners to reach out to us, and these parameters are set up specific to your practice. So let's have a conversation about. And
I will get a little bit weedy on this one.
Weedy.
It's like the word of the hour. My question for you is that, though we're not replacing somebody, there is as we all know, there is a shortage of qualified staff or team members around the continent. So my question is, does this help enhance the dentist or the business owner's situation? Does this help make things easier in light of the fact that there is such a staffing shortage everywhere? You know what?
Yeah, it fits in harmlessly to the front end because it doesn't harm their jobs.
Dun, dun, psh, you need the sound effects.
Boom, boom, boom.
Hold on, we got it.
No, we don't.
Oh, he doesn't. He let me down there.
I got this. I don't know what it is. No,
that is not the sound of. So let's get back to the question. So Terry, does this help the practice if they're faced with a staffing shortage?
100% it does. I've actually seen some practices, and as a matter of fact, we had a practice that just lost their front office staff entirely, and they're relying on our automation to run their front office staff with the use of a hygienist. So the hygienist is running back and forth and just making sure that the patients are checked in, and CareCru and Donna is really just running the front office. Not the most ideal way, but if you work alongside with an office manager or a practice administrator, you can definitely get the workload of a part-time employee from Donna really easily.
Donna's got you.
She's got your back.
Yeah.
Donna's got your back.
Yeah, I like the story behind how you guys came to Donna as being the name.
The name. Did we go into that last time?
We might have.
Yeah.
Or we might have.
We can always circle back on that.
We might, just touch on that because I think it's a cool backstory on the CareCru.
Today, or should we come back to it?
No, we should have a whole session
on how you guys chose the name Donna.
Came to Donna.
Yeah, we can do that. There was a lot of brainstorming on Donna. There were some other names that I can't mention on here that came up. Just kidding.
It's like, what name? Because terrible.
I don't know them. So I don't know. I know there are a lot of names that came.
There was Karen, right? Karen's the. You
had to go there, didn't you?
The stereotypical what a Karen thing to do.
I tried to avoid it, but Mark just opened the door.
He's going off on his own here now.
I usually do.
I don't have the mute button beside me.
I don't even know why I'm here. let's face
I
it.
have a lot of friends named Karen, so let's.
Well, I didn't. You know, I apologize to the Karens out there, but like that's out there. It's like the the stereotypical
well,
Karen's like, hey, get off my yard. You know, that's Karen.
I don't like that stereotype because I have friends named Karen. So
Oh,
I'm
fair enough.
gonna fight in defense of my friends named Karen
Well, there
and
you
say
go.
I do not like that stereotype.
All right.
Haha. There you go. Shame on you.
Cancel.
I still need my Macho Man Randy Savage shirt.
You
so
should, yeah. Or here,
That's one of my favorite sound effects.
this is how I did today.
Yeah.
Anyways,
That's where we went with Karen.
we went with
Moving on.
I'm sorry, Karen.
Terry, this has been awesome. The automation end of things, there's so much to cover here, but it's the thing for me, the way I kind of see the automation component to CareCru is like, because it is challenging times for dental offices right now. It's hard to find qualified people. So instead of like having to manually learn the systems, like going through point by point, like the manual checking off, and this is why we talked earlier about it's a great circle back to the 1994 analog dial-up, right? Like the pencil checks and balances, the pen and paper. We don't need to do that anymore. There's a system in place that if someone is new, if the office has experienced some turnover recently, they need to come in, learn the CareCru system, and then they're set. And then they understand the system. And even if they need to move to another office that's using CareCru as well, they understand CareCru. So now that they have that skill set and that knowledge, they can carry that with them from office to office.
And I think they must become believers pretty quick, once they get set up.
They really
That's
do.
how I see it.
Yeah, they definitely. Yeah, you're both 100% accurate. It simplifies the process. It enhances the patient journey and experience, and practices really benefit. I mean, the analytics behind what we're doing, they're mind blowing of how a practice changes that dramatically revenue wise.
Yeah, for sure.
Once we just plug it in. So,
and you know what? The proof is in the numbers. Like it's having the power to turn the computer around and show the progress is. How could you argue with that? You can't.
And I don't want a dental office calling me, reminding me that I have a dental appointment. I just don't.
Yeah.
And I'm not. I'm not one of these millennial kids. I'm an older gentleman, older than the millennials. But and the reason I say that is because even the guys in their 40s are like, hey, text me. I don't need because now I got to stop, pull over, do whatever, stop what I'm doing and call the dental office back and say, yes, I'll be there on Thursday. If I can just click a button and have options to say, oh, okay, yeah, I can be there, no problem. And to be able to customize that end of things is to me as a patient, as a consumer, I value that.
Yeah, and the fact that it's just streamlined into the front end, just it becomes a no-brainer. Like there's no reason why a practice shouldn't have a tool like this in this day and age. Anyways, we could go on and on and on and on and on. We should.
Terry, thanks for putting up with us today.
Thank you, Terry.
guys, it's okay. I appreciate the banter back and forth.
I was going to say it is banter. Cool.
I appreciate your candor.
Candor and your
That's a good word.
harmlessness. Harmlessness. Anyways, yeah.
Harmonious.
What did you say today? Too?
I said harmonious. No, I said in harmony.
Harmone.
One of the few times you'll hear me saying anything.
Okay.
Because I'm terrible.
Okay, we better close it off.
Terry, go enjoy the Florida sunshine
Yeah.
while we enjoy the
You lucky fella.
the Canada cold.
Yeah. All right.
Enjoy that Arctic winter.
We'll see you in the next segment, man.
See you next time.
Thank you. Appreciate you.